What's up, millennials? In exchange for your time and hopefully you like as well, today I'm going to tell you why I chose to swing trade TTCF with ticker symbol TTCF. And I actually wanted to do a video about this company, about this stock a little bit earlier, because I've already started my swing trade a few days ago, or almost a week ago now. But I saw some more important topics to talk about first, so I made some other videos instead. But I now saw Jeremy from Financial Education and also meet Kevin talking about this stock. So I did want to bring out this video to you. One of the reasons why I did want to make a video about TTCF is that I received multiple comments about this stock. Also from my man Learning to Compound, he was asking about the valuation of TTCF. But I'm not sure if I'm going to make a valuation video about this stock. But yeah, in this video I'll show you the technical analysis side of the things. So as I've said before, I'm going to hold this stock as a swing trade. I'm not going to hold this for a very long while, I believe. And today I'm just going to explain to you some of the technical reasons, some of the reasons of technical analysis for which I started this swing trade. We're actually going to take a look at three indicators. First of all, the support and resistance. Then we're going to take a look at the RSI and lastly, the MACD. But before we get into the technical analysis, just two things. First of all, stock o'clock videos. These are very short daily videos of 1 minute filled with stock market news that I post every single trading day right before the market opens. And the second thing is never trust me, always verify me, right? I could be completely wrong. I'm just a random dude on the internet, so always check what I'm doing. Let's first take a very quick look at my entry points. I started a relatively small position. My swing trades are usually about 1/3 of my regular positions, I would say. And as you can see, on the 8th of December, I bought 50 shares at a price of $16.29. All right, let's look at the first indicator for now, which is the support and resistance. And I think that support and resistance is one of the most basic tools, but maybe also one of the most powerful tools of technical analysis. Support and resistance are basically certain price levels where the share price stays above in the case of support or below in the case of resistance. And if we take a look at the chart of the TTCF of TTCF, then we can see a few resistance and support lines which I drew in this chart. Let's take a look at the level of $13.80, for example. Because in the past, which was like June until August more or less, we saw that $13.80 was a pretty big support level. We can see that many times the price action came back down to this level right here in July, back in July, and also in August. And we saw that it mainly kept above that level, right? It doesn't have to be exact. It's not like the price reaches this level of $13.80 and then it shoots back up right away. Because sometimes it can overshoot a little bit, it can go below, but then quickly recovers afterwards. If we take a look at a resistance line, for example, which is, for example, the line over here on the top at $25.80, well, we can see basically the same thing happening over there between September and the end of October. We saw that $25.80 was a pretty big resistance level. It came up to that level, then it overshot a little bit, came back down quickly, then recovered and went up to this almost the same level again, came back down, went back up almost to the same level again, and then we started trending downwards, right? Now, what do we have right now? Well, I have been looking at this chart for a while now, for a few weeks actually, and yeah, I was looking at a few support lines. First of all, it looked like the support line of $16.50 was going to hold, but I didn't want to enter just yet because I didn't really love the setup of all the other technical indicators. The thing is, when looking at technical analysis, I usually try to look for so-called confluence, right? That means that that's not just one indicator that looks bullish, but there are multiple indicators at the same time indicating that we could be in a bullish phase right now or in a reversal phase, right? And right at this moment, which was at the end of October, beginning of November, the support looked pretty strong at $15 or $16.50 rather, but the other indicators were not as strong just yet. So I decided to wait a little bit. And at in November, more or less, we saw that the trend line was actually broken. And then we went back to a different support line, which was almost at $15.20, right? We overshot a little bit on the 1st and the 2nd of December, but then we quickly recovered and we went back with a nice strong move back to the upside. Then the second indicator that I love to look at is the RSI. This is a very strong indicator as well. It might be my favorite one almost. And as we can see, the RSI, which is the blue line over here, it started to trend down since like the end of September, more or less. The white line over here is the exponential moving average on the RSI. And it looked like the RSI, so the blue line, stayed below the white line, the exponential moving average, for quite a while. So this EMA, the exponential moving average, was basically used as a support line, it looked almost like. Sometimes it went above a little bit, but then it quickly came back down again. I saw that here as well in the beginning of November, came back up above the EMA, went back down, came back up here at the end of November, but came back down. And now in the beginning of December, it looks like we have broken through with quite a strong move, right? And it looks like we are going to stay above the EMA this time. We can also see that the EMA has now turned into a positive posture, so it now is going up to the upside instead of trending down, as we have been seeing from the end of September until the beginning of December, rather. So I kind of think that we now are going to stay above this white line, and the RSI might now use this white line, the EMA, as a support line instead. So this was the second reason why I thought that this was a very nice point to enter. And then the last indicator we're going to look at is the MACD, which in this case had actually acted pretty similarly to the RSI. It topped out at the end of September. Then the RSI, which is the blue line over here, crossed the orange line, which is the so-called signal line. And then it stayed below that signal line for quite a while until November, the beginning of November. As we can see, the MACD used the signal line as a resistance line, more or less. And now in the beginning of November, we were going sideways pretty much on the MACD. And at the beginning of December, we actually saw a strong move upwards. And yeah, similarly to the RSI, I think that the MACD is now going to use the signal line. So the blue line is going to use the orange line as a so-called support line, and we're probably going to start trending to the upside right now. Now you might wonder, okay, cool. Now you've entered this position, but where are you going to exit your position, right? Well, I mainly have two targets based on support and resistance levels. I have this target over here, which is around $21. Right now I've drawn it around $20.94. And the same resistance line as we have talked about before, which is still that $25.80 range. So I might take some profits around this level of $21, depending on the indicators and also depending on how fast we're going to approach this level. But if you just want my personal opinion, I think we're just going to blast through this resistance line as well, through the $21 resistance line. And I think that we're actually going to go back to the previous all-time high, especially if we're going to see increased interest by investors, partially created by Meet Kevin and partially created by Jeremy from Financial Education. Not sure if they're going to be able to move this stock very much, but I do think that there are going to be some more investors looking at this stock. All right, so there you go. A very brief overview of how I look at swing trades using technical analysis. Now, if you want to draw one conclusion from this video, if you just want to have one lesson out of this video, I would suggest that confluence would be that conclusion. You can have many indicators, and you can have one indicator saying that we're going to the moon, that we're going to go to the upside, but always try to look at multiple indicators at the same time. If you have many indicators saying that it's very likely that the chart or that the stock is going to move back upwards, then you have that kind of confluence I've been talking about, and that usually means that it's a pretty good setup for a swing trade. So let me know in the comments, if you swing trade as well, what kinds of things do you look at when you enter and when you exit a position? Alright, with that being said, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!